Wo waren wir? Ah ja, bei der Frau. Knock. With it, a woman's voice answers, muffled by the door. This is the police. Can we come in? Come on up. The door is open, she shouts. I'm drying my hair. Sounds like it's coming from upstairs, somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. Piles of dirty clothes, a woman's. Hotel bill calculations, looks like she's had an extended stay. Skill point. This room has sad all over it, reminds you of your own. Yes. Skill. Okay. You see the yard below, the corpse is no longer there. This medicine cabinet is full of wares, sheets of pills haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. Look at the toothbrush. It's been used quite a lot. But not for scrubbing blood off tiles, or anything else interesting, it seems. It's clean of chemical odors too, just some dried toothpaste on the handle. This toothbrush belongs to someone who doesn't give a damn about her teeth. Medications. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet, and pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APEP, eye drops, blood thinners. There's quite a collection in here. Anything of note? He asks in a lowered voice. Search the bottles. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusual shaped nasal spray. Its label reads Nacra. What's Nacra? An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses. You could say he's on the lookout. Pill sheets. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. Electrochemistry, yeah. Is there something more interesting here? Oh! 2,6er, nice. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it in sunny happy letters. Jackpot, baby! That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. What's so exciting about this orange bottle? It's speed, man. Just what what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders, but what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide. Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed. The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. Nee, man, nicht. Die arme Frau braucht es wahrscheinlich. Just take it in plain sight. Nee. Lass mal. I feel someone watching you behind the glass door. A woman. Bed has been hastily made. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Run your finger across the surface of the glass. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside. Even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface. This window was recently replaced. Looks like it, yes. He adjusts his glasses. You know which window has not been recently replaced? Then we established that someone else did that. I think it was established that you did it. Anyway. Okay. Smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra menthol. Cold coffee and an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers. Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. Move your hand fast. Ah! You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of a cigarette. Lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. Snap your finger pistols at the young woman. Yeah. Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols make 2 satisfying snaps. Strange for such a small caliber of finger pistol to sound so chunky. The flower in your other hand is impressed. So is she. That's not actually true. She's looking toward the yard and doesn't notice them. Which is probably for the best. Because didn't someone mention she's a rape victim? Ah. Small heavy door, there's no lock inside. Where does this lead to? I don't know. Lieutenant Jeffreto. Makes a note. It is not the first closed door we find in this building. There's also your mysterious blue kitchen door. You think it's important? I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and he nods toward the young woman. A number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. So maybe the door below is a mega investigation. No, still a mini investigation. He pretends to make a note in his notebook. Push. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy too, very sturdy. Physical instrument. You kick it, gung-ho style, entering the premises style, but the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you. Wieso tritt dann der auch so komisch dagegen? Alright, the woman nods approvingly. Let's trash the place. Let's not. Oh.
Welcome to the roof.
Young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her, silvery jumpsuit and athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you've got here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wander north toward the yard, where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There's something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man. You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell is opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
This does not come as good news to him.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have ever seen in my life, and I have seen a few. Oh yeah, life gets hard, but we go on.
Things are only getting easier for me. I'm a policeman.
That is not actually what a police siren sounds like.
Lieutenant turns to a young woman.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Ah, I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette. Be careful, ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult. What is your name, miss, for the record? Glacier Amandu. And where are you from? Redford, Republic of Oranje. Wasn't a tattoo on the hanged man an Oranje's map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates, something for later. What is Oranje? A bad memory, officer. Understood. It's the past. She takes a sip of her coffee. People can't go back to the past. How old are you? I'm 28. What do you do, miss? What is your specialization? Something stupid. Wanna hear what's stupid? Somewhere in a one-room apartment on Boogie Street, a young man shows patrol officer Tilbrook his genital warts, asking if they're cancer. His partner, Emile Moulin, can't be there. He's in another apartment with another man who's showing him a dead dog under the radiator. It's dead, Moulin says. No, the man replies, I touched him, he's warm. He's warm, Moulin replies, because he's under the radiator. You're a cop? No, more stupid. Enrayé is lit. Enrayé is lit? Enrayé is literature. It's what I studied at the university. She raises both eyebrows. What is Enrayé's literature about? Fear of failure, fear of death. How it sucks to be Enrayé's. All national literatures are... only the name of the nation changes. Erstmal noch AFK. Okay, kein Problem. Dann bis dann. If that's true, then Revacholian Lit would fit you like a glove. Why, yes, Lit, what do you do with it? Nothing. I do nothing with it. How do you make money then? Money is very important. Cool. She looks at the black note in your hand. I've made more money by just being than I have with Enrayé's Lit. Being what? Many things. A roller skating instructor, secretary, Miss Enrayé 37. She smiles. It's the world's most tired smile. Can we take a look at your passport, please? I'm afraid you can't, officer. Why is that? Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. Thank you for your candor. Why? They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. How do I know you've told us your real name? If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Klaasi Amandu. It's a weird name. I'm pretty sure I have the legal right to demand your passport, miss. Look, officers, she turns to face you both. I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom. Okay then. Okie dokie. She pours herself more coffee. If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements. Thank you. That's it for the record. The record. So official. Nice room you've got here. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles, maybe if you phrase it emotionally. Hate to say it, but you've got sad all over the place. Yeah, she draws out the vowel. I've contaminated it pretty bad. Is that why you're out here? She nods. The contamination spreads from room to room. First I escaped upstairs, the sad got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door. Got it. Mostly about the lack of cleaning services and an abundance of me. Where does that door lead to? You tell me, officer. I've been trying to open it in case the contamination gets to the roof and I have to move on. No luck. They tell us you've been through something difficult. Nee, erstmal. Blume. What is this wildflower? She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact. Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught Sambo style? What Sambo? A martial art, sir. She raises an eyebrow. Is that it? Yes, why was it there? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Or an admirer? Any admirers, miss? Admirers? I'm too old to be a debutante. She looks over the railing at the plaza below, and this place is no fashionable society. Okay, they tell us you've been through something difficult. Something difficult? She raises her eyebrows. I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? Were you sexually assaulted, miss? By sexually assaulted you mean raped? She takes the quick drag, unperturbed. Yes. It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? She sounds positively bouillant. Vivacious. Totally unbothered. It's not that early. She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below. It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake? So... where are you? Yeah. She draws out the words. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't wanna say that shit about him. By him, she must mean the victim. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they wanted to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more. She searches for the word, then shrugs. Rapeable? Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted? Not exactly, not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery, sexual assault maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Titus asked you to spice things up for us? Pretty much. She cradles a coffee cup in both hands, warming them. What did happen between you and the victim? We partied. What kind of partying? The kind I do? With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh. Harder than this? I didn't know it was physically possible. Oh, it is. She takes a long drag. You're still alive. Well, what did you do when you partied? We drank, sir. She takes a sip of her coffee. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him. What else? Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. Were feelings involved? A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them. How did you two meet? Lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm. Downstairs. She taps on the roof with her 10-centimeter heel. At the bar, he was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar. She appears aloof, but that scar part, scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension? With longing, she misses him. When was this? A month ago? Something like that. Must have been hard for you, seeing him there. Oh yes, she says bitterly. I've had a great view from the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams. Bitter cringe, it hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer. You called us. The RCM. Yes. The call reporting the hanging. Was it you? I made it. She nods. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching. Reporting crimes is confidential and rather sure, miss. Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do it? Because I couldn't handle it anymore. She takes a drag, her voice thick with disgust. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him. Tearing off his armor, demeaning him, throwing rocks at him. Kuno! Carter's voice was disguised. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. Nicked it? How? With nail clippers, and I diverted some radio fuzz into it, into the cold wire. Which landline? The one downstairs, officer. I used the whirling landline. That's some clever tampering. Simple and clever, crossing the lines like that. Seems like you had some idea. That was nifty. Thanks. She manages a smile. Why go through all the trouble? I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires. Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do. I didn't want to, sir, but if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age? I'm sorry, I can't do it. She puffs on a cigarette. Not right Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him, like he's now. I can't talk about this. About his, I don't know, hair. Another puff, more nervous. I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later. She sees him in her dreams. I've also seen him in a dream. You have. Not like I do, I imagine. She runs out of cigarettes. Time to light a new one. How do you see him? Don't wanna know. She looks into the pack. It's light green and pulls out a ciggy. I see him as me. She dips the cigarette in the lightest flame and inhales, then looks at you with her lungs full of smoke. I can see the similarity, yes. She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of menthol. Funny, the lieutenant says softly. Funny how? Nothing. He nods toward the yard. I also saw him. We had a long inspection and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on. What did they hang him for, if not rape? He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. She thinks. But you probably know all about it. And his role in the strike was what? I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean, but I understood it was dangerous. And they lynched him for it. She nods. Why was there a bullet in his head? Bullet? There's a silence. Her brows meet in the middle for a pained frown. They shot him too? They stripped his clothes and they shot him? You mean after they hanged him? I'm confused, sorry. So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss? Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender. It's hard to know what to think about that answer. She's just tired. Don't push her too much. How do the Hardy boys know you? They're frequent guests downstairs. She looks at the floor. It's tarred. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. And how did you meet? Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. Did you party? A little, yeah. Like you partied with the deceased? No, not as hard. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy boys? I have. Which one? Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter. Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him? Could that be why they lynched him? Jealousy? I hope not. Pause. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know. But that's probably where they got the rape idea. What do you mean? Men like that? I don't know. Another pause. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me. Are you sure you weren't raped? I'm 89% sure. Does it mean you're 11% not sure? You know how it is. Do you? Actually, I don't. She flicks a bit of ash away. Maybe you don't. The ash lands on her jumpsuit. She brushes it off. There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer. In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. Sounds like something happened and you don't want to acknowledge it. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. She tilts her head. Would I be as flippant if I had been? Thank you for telling us all of this, miss. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid. We should head back downstairs, officer. The lieutenant looks at you. We may have things to discuss there. I had something else before we go. A little thing. Talk to you about your room. What are you doing here in the whirling in rags? Wintering. How long have you been staying here? She calculates about 4 months. I came in November. Why here? Here in the whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Here in the whirling. Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez, and because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it, she says without any discernible irony. Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool. Yeah. It was quite impressive. How did you amass such a hoard? With money, sir. She takes the drag. It's not exactly the anti-star-sized caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there. Collection includes Nacra, an opioid antagonist. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids. Is that something that happens to you often, miss? His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive. Better safe than sorry. She takes the drag and smiles. You seem to have, among other things, Preptide. Oh yes, one of my favorites. It cures many ailments. Like what? Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, she thinks. Not being happy, it cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. That's all as far as that goes then. Very funky. That window is new. It is. She moves slightly to your left to check her reflection in it. Lieutenant makes a note in his new notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying. Look her in the eye. Yeah. Soft light brown eyes look back at you directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you. What? You know these guys? Who, me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you groveling sycophant. Hello, Betsy. You too. Me? Get out of here, I'm solid. These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. Little bleeps and bloops you trust for info. You can't trust them anymore. What? Leave it. Which ones exactly are affected? There's no way of knowing at the moment, so I'm afraid of. It's best to assume all of them. Bullshit, man, I ain't compromised. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol ciggy. Really? Quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you. I take it back. He's got it pretty bad, but this next guy is on another level entirely. She likes you. Crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature. How did this happen? How it always does, through subtlety. What can I do? There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she's how she is. Things will go as they do. Can you turn them normal again? No. What use is this then? It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it. Is it not? Does this mean she's been lying to me? I think it's safe to assume yes. Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to a truthfulness like this. No? He's not going to show up. I'm sorry, your lie detection isn't working. It's not her doing. He's just totally inept. It looks like you're also an idiot, but that's not her fault. No, not an idiot. You're just more of a sensitive type. Thinks with his heart. This woman's pain draws you in. What is her plan? You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says nothing. Someone else was supposed to chime in, weren't they? And then they didn't. Just me swooshing around in here now. Swoosh. Huh? No, Mr. Conclusion. You're always kind of limited in your analytical abilities. That's not her fault, but still. I've been talking to myself long enough. Let's get back to it. Don't worry, it's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this. Was hast alles verpasst? Black Mirror. Sind wir ein bisschen weitergekommen, ein paar Mal gestorben. Weil, ja, die Anstalt und das, was danach kam, war ein bisschen komisch irgendwie. Aber ja. Und ansonsten Heilig sind wir weitergekommen. Irgendwie. Und ja. Ansonsten Disco Elysium hier. Hauptsächlich haben wir mit der Frau geredet. Und alles Gute auf jeden Fall noch. Miss, are you manipulating me? Silence broken, she exhales a little cloud of smoke and says, God, no. I'll be here until 2300, drinking coffee most likely.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate? Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision not to corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. Why did she tell us all of that? What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. I have reason to doubt my ability to see through her lies. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. I know she's manipulative. So you said to her, what did you mean by it? She has half my skills at compromised, singing her tune. My assessments of her are untrustworthy. Batman spielen. Müsste ich am besten morgen dann. Hab's noch nicht vorbereitet, aber ja, bis morgen müsste ich's dann. Müsste das dann klar gehen, denke ich mal. She seems forthcoming to me, unusually so. Being forthcoming with some things is a good way to obscure other things, but I wouldn't call myself compromised. Perhaps that's because you are? I am not easily swayed by young women, but on the other hand, the best liars are candid. And she was candid. The lieutenant seems oddly sure he is not compromised, not psychologically at least. Is it hubris? Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back soon enough. Okay. Okay, Moment. Yeah. Dropped it smack dab in the middle of the floor. There it is. Orange as the midsummer evening sun or the lieutenant's bomber jacket. Wow, that's unbelievably orange. Anyone can see that. It's practically effervescent. Pick it up, but secretly. The lieutenant tries to keep his eyes on the door, but the peptide bottle sounds like a rattlesnake. It's basically a percussion instrument that you're stuffing into your pocket. Who cares, man? Who cares what the stiff thinks? You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now. ESP. Right, Maybells. What? 6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown. What is this, Kim? This is the Insulidian lily. The lieutenant corrects his glasses. Called Maybells or Lucille's tears. During the revolution, girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle. Who pinned them? Which side? The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's the color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it had meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sights. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths. Then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War. Does this flower blossom in early spring? Yes, but not this early. Not to my knowledge. He observes the petals. It looks dried, preserved. Is it a coincidence, it being on the roof? Maybe, maybe not. He makes a note in his little notebook. We'll see. Very well. Speedy. Okay.
It's you again. What is it?
Kein Ding. Klassisch says she wasn't raped. Fuck. Big man's eyes and veins bulge. I knew that fucking her couldn't be trusted. Oh, you've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed. For the record, she steps in forcefully. Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her. What? Oh, shut up and stay off this, Liz. He turns back to you. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea. He's just in a denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you. Yeah, she's crazy, you know. The red-faced man says carefully. Crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up. Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth. No, man, he says through clenched teeth. I am at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. And you went and pushed her. Something breaks in him. He takes a step closer and says, I'm going to fucking hit you. Duck! Titus Hardy. Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot. Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood? Room is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. The rest of the cafeteria has gone quiet too. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command. Look, Copper. Tattooed man snaps his fingers to get your attention. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. So it's empty. He turns to Titus, who is still breathing heavily. What's the harm, right? Yeah, jerk, what? He slams an audio tape on the table. Listen to this shit and then come back and tell me the soldier of Apocalypse was an innocent man. Another apocalyptic actor in town? What? Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me. You don't care about evidence? His eye twitches. The fuck are you a cop for then? Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth, they care about getting convictions. They're fucking keeping score on the bulletin boards. I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about. So what's on this tape? What's on it? We call it the Gunner Mega Mix. You know why, once you listen to it. Where did you get this tape? You think we go into the shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to buck people. There's no university degree for that. So you've bugged them. How? We have machines. You know, we're in logics. How do you think our harbor works? It's advanced stuff. Understood. You've listened in on their communications. Takes a little note. How long? Since way before the chief started taking swing lessons. Things got nice and quiet after that. Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work then? It's not advanced, heavy man wheezes. You're just holed up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there. Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work. Chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast. Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit. I can listen to this. Brauche ich nicht fragen. Don't go forget your tape, lawman. Pushes a little tape toward you with his giant hand. Compliments of Titus Hardy. Fine, I'll listen to it. You do that, he says, adjusting his belt buckle. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Okay. Mehr Anerkennung. Ah, Dankeschön. Oh. Yeah. Okay. The portal reel is just what you needed. The reel is attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. Play! Alter! Ernsthaft? Oh. You push commands and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air. This isn't Revachol, a man's voice says. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the yellow fence. Not a loud screech. Some kind of machinery. Die Habe. Game takes out his notebook. That's the sound of a Quasund crane. More static. When the shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit, dogs, and chickens too. Gonna rent a room. Cordy, a real nice one. This part is unintelligible. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape the disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dancer whore upstairs. Do it leash min style. That get that taste out of my mouth. Clicked in silence. The rest of the tape is empty. Lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête. Yeah, Arrête. Pause. Stop. On your portal reel, the tape stops spinning. What was that at the end? At the very end? Silence? End of recording. What do you think? It seemed authentic enough, probably recorded off their shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. It sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. I agree. He also sounded inebriated. Still, Lieutenant looks at the tape. You're familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion. There's more going on here than we know. Who's this Cordy? Cordy could be short for Cordonaire. One of the other mercenaries. The one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. What's Leash Min? A village on the Sumerian Isla in Tian'an. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about. You think he was there? Who knows? Maybe the tattooers would have an answer. Would need to know the story of this man's service. Okay then, what now? I think we've got a few more questions for class yet, don't you? He looks around. It seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree. As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spitting out beats like it's a Friday night. The contrast feels chilly, inappropriate even. Ich glaube, mit der Frau reden wir dann beim nächsten Mal. Aber Moment. Equip this to impress yourself. Flaschen. Okay. Ja, beim nächsten Mal reden wir dann nochmal mit der. Dann werden wir wahrscheinlich mit dem Kollegen von dem toten Typen reden, weil der ja auf der Aufnahme mit dem gesprochen hat. Und keine Ahnung, vielleicht reden wir dann nochmal mit der einen anderen Frau auf dem Boot, was die vielleicht dazu zu sagen hat. Und schauen wir mal.